Salut tout le monde, welcome back to Unintentionally Frenchified. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you got to have that long summer break in France, all of that French vacation, I hope coming back to reality in September has not been too difficult for you. It has been difficult for me. I did though over the summer break finally get to visit the US after a year and a half, see my family, it was amazing, and I also, like every trip to the US, lugged back double the suitcases than I brought with me over there because I had to haul back all the American products that I cannot live without. So I thought this was the perfect time to share with you guys the American products that I spend the energy, the time I kill my back trekking all the way across the world from the US to France. I want to hear in the comments what products you couldn't live without if you moved abroad, or if you are currently living abroad, what products do you trek across the world to where you're living? And of course, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, you guys know what to do. Before I open up my bag of treats and show you guys all the products I have sitting next to me that you can't see yet, I wanted to talk to you about Ana Luisa, who sponsored this video, which is very fitting because Ana Luisa is an American company, except they have very affordable shipping prices internationally. So I don't actually have to stock up on all of my jewelry every time I go home because I can just order it from them online. If you haven't heard of Ana Luisa, let me take 2 minutes to talk to you about them and show you some of the pieces that I recently got. So Ana Luisa is a New York-based carbon neutral jewelry brand, meaning the company is very rooted in conscious luxury and creating jewelry that does not come at Earth's expense. I think that's a pretty rad mission, and they also believe that how they make their jewelry pieces matter just as much as why people are wearing them. So pieces that are priced affordably and produced ethically are just part of the DNA of the brand. They have such a cool mission that even if jewelry isn't your thing, I highly recommend checking out brands like Ana Luisa just to understand how people are innovating more and just being more sustainable. Today I'm wearing, honestly, I think 1, 2, 3, I don't know, like 6 pieces because their pieces are really stackable. They're super easy to wear. So if I start with a little close up, because I'll go with my earrings first, and I think all of my ears, yeah, have in Ana Luisa right now. So if we look here on the right, first up, we've got the Cassie hoop. This is kind of like a little open hoop, and it's actually like a huggy hoop. So it's really close to your ear and it's slightly open with a little gemstone here. And that's online right now at 45 euros. And then you also here in my second hole, you've got the Suzanne mini huggy hoop. They make this little one at lots of different sizes. So go check that out if this isn't exactly the size that you want, but I really love kind of when they're close to your ears. Then here on my left, I've got in my ear the Sia Link. So the Sia Link is like a safety pin, if you can see here in my first hole. And then it has this really dainty chain that comes all the way up here and connects your second hole with a little gemstone. It's sterling silver and then dipped in 14 karat gold. And you do need to have 2 holes in order to wear it. I really like this one because it's a bit more edgier than some of the other things that I have from there, and it gives kind of a contemporary vibe. And you can wear it with whatever you want on the other side. And this one is online right now for 54 euros. And to wrap it up with what I'm wearing, because you can see that I've got on a bracelet here from Ana Luisa. I've also actually here got on a necklace that I paired with another different necklace. So honestly, I'll put everything in the video description below so that all of the different pieces, even the ones I didn't talk about, you have the links to them. But the last one that I'll show you guys is actually this new ring that I got. So I am keeping up with the chain vibe here. This is the Josie ring, and it's a nice thin little chain that I've slipped right here on in my middle finger. Very stackable as well, could go with lots of different rings. And this one's only 36 euros. So as I said, I'll stick some of the names of all the other things I didn't get a chance to show you that I'm wearing so that you've got them in the video description below. In honor of Sustainability Month, because I told you that is such a big mission at Ana Luisa, there is a 10% discount code on top of whatever you find online there that you can use to order any of your jewelry. The jewelry starts at 39 euros and everything. All the info is in the video description below. So go enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. All right, now that you've gotten a close-up look at some of my sparkly goods, let's pull out the American products that I lugged all the way back to France. Okay, first things first, medical stuff. If you've seen any of my videos about healthcare in France, I love healthcare in France. I'm a huge advocate of it, and I really wish that we had something similar in the US. So I tend not to bring like a lot of healthcare things back to France because you can find so much great stuff, and I have fabulous insurance here. But there are two things that I bring back every time. One of them being ibuprofen. Now, I'm sure you're thinking we have ibuprofen in France. Yes, they do, but they don't have massive bottles of ibuprofen. And when I see these like big bottles of 500 tablets, it's like my ibuprofen for the year, me and my migraines feel very reassured by the size of this bottle, and it feels very efficient. Like I've got the big bottle, I've got enough going, like I don't have to worry about going to the pharmacy or running out every week. And in France, what they tend to give you, yes, this is not ibuprofen, but it just gives you an example about what the box of ibuprofen looks like as well. It has like 8 tablets. As you can see here, this is 8 tablets of Doliprane. What I'm normally prescribed by my doctor is they give me 1 box of 8. And that is just a lot of going back and forth to the pharmacy. Like I need more than this for a month's supply. So I always bring a handy bottle of ibuprofen back with me. The second thing that I always run and grab from the pharmacy section of anywhere in the US, often Target because I'm a huge fan of Target, is Icy Hot. I don't know if you guys have ever seen or heard of Icy Hot. If you're not American, I have no idea how international this brand is, but Icy Hot is basically a type of cream that you put on your muscles when you're sore. So like if you have a kink in your neck when you wake up in the morning, or I'm a big runner, so if I've got really sore muscles the next day, it goes from a cold to a really hot. So it heats up and then it really cools down and get cold. So it really like relaxes your muscles. And I found some kind of similar things in France. Like I can get from the pharmacy patches, but the patches are like one-time works patches and they are really expensive and they're throwaway. So what I really love about this is the bottles kind of last me a while, and it's also got this like roll-on function, which is super handy because you never actually have to touch it and you just roll it on and then it heats you up and you're good to go. This you can find online if you're willing to spend like, I don't know, 40 bucks for a bottle or two, but I mean in the US it's like $5.99. So this goes in my suitcase. Okay, next theme is food. Now, Mythbuster, you can find a ton of American food in France for sure, especially now. When I moved like 10 years ago and I did not live in Paris, you could not find American food. Like peanut butter wasn't a thing that you found in the grocery stores all the time. Now there are a lot of online marketplaces in France where you can buy food. So no matter where you live in France, you can order food to yourself. The thing is it's so expensive, like so expensive. So you have to really, really be craving it if you're gonna spend like 3 or 4 times the price for a box of Lucky Charms that you would find at home. So often I know most Americans are still hauling back food in their suitcase, even if technically you could get it if you really wanted it so bad. Take peanut butter, for example, as I just said. Peanut butter has now become pretty much a staple, I would say, in most grocery stores, especially natural grocery stores, no organic in Paris. I can always find peanut butter, but it is so expensive. A normal size of peanut butter, like this size, is usually gonna be like 5 or 6 euros in Paris, and maybe even more if it's organic. At home, it's like $3.99 or something for a way bigger size. So I tend to haul back with me some good old big size crunchy peanut butter. Yes, I could get this in Paris, but I wouldn't be able to eat freely and comfortably as many peanut butter and pretzels as I want, making all of my peanut butter cookies, my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. These sizes are hard to come by. If you don't live like outside of a big city close to a Costco or like some kind of bulk setting, it is hard to find anything this big, and it is so cheap compared to what I can find in Paris. That's peanut butter always makes it back in my suitcase, and it is always a fight with my husband because it takes up so much room in our small apartment. Another thing that always makes it home, this is my candy stash here in our house, are blow pops. France has really great candy, huge fan of what they've got, but suckers don't really seem to be blow pop suckers with any type of like gum inside of them, don't really seem to be on their radar. And I'm a big fan of a movie night having like a sucker, which sounds like I'm 7, but it's still kind of something I really like. So these always make it back in my suitcase, and I throw them in my jar, and you can see there's a mix of like Reese's, we've got Starbursts in there, we've got Jolly Ranchers, yeah. And then we also have, you know, mixed with some French candy like Kinders. And then I've got like some really healthy it's not healthy at all, snacks that I like to throw in my bag that I can find here, as I said, expensive, but especially now that I have Eleanor and she's at an age where like she's almost 2 and sometimes we like really need to bribe her with food. I really love some of the snacks I grew up having. So I always bring some animal crackers with me. Animal crackers are pretty sweet and they're like little biscuits in the shape of animals. And then you've got goldfish. Goldfish are amazing. These are salty, and this one is like a Mickey Mouse one, but normally they're in the shape of a goldfish and they taste like cheddar, and I love them and Eleanor loves them, and they're not that great for you, but I do love those. And fruit snacks. I have not seemed to found like a lot of fruit snack options, or even I've only found them once actually somewhere. So I don't think that there's something that France is really in love with, because they probably just tend to eat actual fruit instead of the fruit snacks. France has a really healthy eating habit as a whole, if we talk generally about the whole country, and they're not really for snacking, and kids aren't really given food at lots of different times throughout the day except for set meals and like one goûter. So we try to keep Eleanor on her very French schedule because it's good for her and I think it's better, but I still like from time to time myself, you can't break habits that you've got ingrained in you for so many years, right? Oh, and we cannot forget everything but the bagel sesame seasoning blend. France has some good spices, but they do not have this. Next up on my list is laundry stuff. I don't know about you guys out there, but I am a horrendous laundry woman. I am never able to get stains out of things. I have turned way too many loads of whites colors. I'm just, you know, especially like Eleanor has stains on her stuff now. I do not tend to get a good stain out. So if you have any tips, if you have products that you use in France, please, please, please put them below. Very useful for me. But so what I do bring back is, first off, I bring back a Tide stick, Tide to go. I have never seen something often, because the US is made for convenience and France is literally not made to be convenient, the country. So I've never seen this type of like to go stain removal, and Tide to go is so amazing. So whenever I'm acting like a total slouch and I'm like all gross and I don't know, I spill on myself, I can just like Tide right away, and you pretty much just rub it on the stain and then you go wash your shirt. And for the most part, if you get it quick, this takes out so much stuff. Lifesaver. And now that I have Eleanor, when I see her do something on her clothes, if I'm with her, it's really easy to grab her and rub as well and try to get the stain like right away, because the amount of clothes that I lose to terrible stains, I mean, she still wears them, but that I wish I could get out. I also love, love, love and swear by this OxyClean. So if you also struggle with stains and you're an American that goes home, you can get the OxyClean sticks and bring them back. This one is hardcore. So you can just take the stain, you open it up, you know, it's got all the product, you rub it on the stain, and then sometimes like if I really need to rub in, I take this side and I really like rub it in. And then you throw it into the laundry, and honestly, you let it sit for a bit if it's a really strong stain. The stain comes out like magic. My mom uses this, and so I started using this, and it is amazing. And yes, if I want to spend 200 euros, I can have this at my house, you know, like 3 or 4 sticks, or I lug it across the ocean because it is saving my clothes. All right, and finally, clothes. So France is known for fashion. I love buying my clothes in France. I would say for the most part, I don't really buy except for maybe like yoga pants or sporty stuff or loungewear, because you can find so much better loungewear in the US because we wear loungewear out around and the French don't tend to do that. But for the most part, I buy everything in France. But two brands that I buy in the US because they are so much cheaper. The first one is Levi's. I cannot bring myself to buy a pair of like Levi's pants in like jeans in France, because honestly in the US I go to Kohl's, and Kohl's always has sales going on, and you buy jeans for like $40, right? So we're thinking like 35 euros. In France, a pair of Levi's jeans, I've not seen it under 90, like 90 euros. So the price is like 3 to 4 times different if I buy it in the US, and Levi's is such good quality and they last for so long that I just wait till I get home and then buy my pair of Levi's. And the other brand is Converse. You guys get a very good look at Robin's dirty pair of Converse, but I mean, this is the other brand that we just tend to find way better deals in the US. Often there's some kind of like discount going on, and then on top of that, you've got the euro to dollar, which is favorable right now while we're over there. And then the price is just way cheaper. We tend to get our Converse for around 30 bucks. So compared to here in France, where they're normally in like the 65, 75 euro range, it ends up being way cheaper for us to wait over there if, you know, Robin sometimes gets holes in his when he's overworn them. And so if we need a new pair, we always wait until we're back in the US. So we lug those back and forth every time. All right, you guys, that is it. Those are all of the products I had to bring back from the US. So I can't wait to hear in the comments below what you have to bring back, if you already live abroad, or what you feel like you wouldn't be able to live without. Don't forget about Ana Luisa as well. There's a 10% discount code you can take advantage of in the video description below. Otherwise, have a great week. I wish you guys the best, and I will see you la semaine prochaine. Bisous!